Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of our International SEO series. This week, we're going to be exploring Turkey, and we're joined by our very own Gökhan, who's going to be talking us through the Turkish market. So, Gökhan, over to you.
Well, thank you. So my name is Gökhan, and I'm working for Argos Multilingual as a marketing manager. So I wanted to talk a little about myself first, and then go talk a little more about the Turkish SEO, and hopefully give you some information that could be useful if you decide to work in Turkey. So I'm an engineer by my study, and after my study, I was one of these lucky people to turn my hobby as a work, and I started working for a bicycle magazine as an editor. And during the same time, I started doing my master's in logistics. So marketing was not really in my plans for the future. But the more I like the more I get involved to the marketing during the magazine, the more I like the idea, and in the end, I had an opportunity to move Poland. And now I'm working for Argos Multilingual as a marketing manager, and I'm mostly responsible with the digital marketing of the company, and that involves SEO of our website as well, such as the Argos Multilingual and Chili Store. Because I'm an engineer, I guess my brain works slightly different than normal people, and whatever I will do for work or for my life, I need to understand how the background of the process works first to be able to be successful in what I'm doing. So the SEO is the same thing for me, or the marketing is the same for me. That's the reason I prepared this presentation in a similar way, that I want to tell you the backgrounds about the Turkish culture and then the Turkish businesses, and then try to give you some SEO examples based on that. So first thing I'll be doing is the Turkish users, and then their internet culture, or our internet culture. So it's a massive country. Once you look at it, it's 85 million people. While I was checking the data for the Turkish internet users, like the internet culture, I realized that we are in top 5 on Instagram users in the world, and half of our population of that 85 million is on Instagram, which is a massive chunk of active internet users. On top of it, the language and content quality is really important for the Turkish internet user, that they do not tolerate bad quality content and bad quality language, especially when they are in shopping website and e-commerce websites. And also, while I was searching this, I checked the expat and the tourist numbers in Turkey, and I didn't really see any differences than any other big major markets that are that you would do your SEO. So if you want to target in a foreign language, or if you want to target foreigners in Turkey in a foreign language, you should do it in a way that you are doing in any other markets. While I was checking the habits, I was also checking their shopping habits, and these numbers are from 2022. And compared to the year before, the volume of e-commerce went up to 100+%, which is a really big difference. Some of it is because of the inflation and the way that the money lost its value, but then the number of orders increased 36% compared to the year before. And since COVID, after that COVID bump of online shopping, just like the Turkish market started to just didn't stop growing, and just like kept improving there. And I checked the data. This is the official data from the Turkish Institution of Statistics. And average person spending $250 per year on e-commerce or online shopping. And in Istanbul, which is the most populated city in Turkey, it's twice of the Turkish average. To give it in a more, like put it in a more prospect, it's more than one net minimum wage in Turkey spent per person in online shopping. So it is not a small market when compared to similar countries. And at this point, I try to give some examples about, or some idea about the Turkish people and the Turkish market. And let's say you decided to do SEO in Turkey. So I will try to draw a picture about what you will be seeing and what you should be taking, what you should be careful about. So it is a high competition market because of the e-commerce giants and also the websites that was dominating the market for many years. That is the negative, that is the wall that you need to break while you are starting your business in Turkey. It's also a steadily growing market based on the numbers I just gave on the previous slides, which will give you more opportunities in the future. And on top of it, we have the e-commerce giants with those really old websites in Turkey that are dominating most of the search volume if it's product related. But it shouldn't scare you, because I will tell you more about the Turkish market in a moment. On top of these high competition and high volume competitors, that I can say the generic market is living on really low quality content. So that's my experience in Turkish Google when I'm just researching some products or researching some information, that after the first or second search result, what I get is either the clickbait contents or content that's keyword stuffed without planning to give any information to the user, just created without giving any information. The whole point is that their website will be ranking high. The Turkish quality is really low. The storytelling is bad. The way that they just constructed sentences are terrible. Most of the content I've seen while I was searching these data were machine translated, which was and the machine translation doesn't always work with Turkish really well. So it was really obvious for me. It might be because of my magazine years that I am really sensitive to content, but it really bothered me when I see that a website is in the third result for a proper date, like for important data, and the text is terribly written. And on top of it, I don't see any proper SEO strategy in those websites. So some of them, I just check their blogs and they posted 10 blog posts in a day and then nothing for 6 months. They just really didn't plan anything. So even though the competition is high, the quality of the competition is not as high as you would expect, and it just shows me that it's kind of an open market to enter. And so after this, as an agency or as an SEO person, you would need to communicate with the business owners or managers in Turkey if you are not starting your own business. So I just wanted to talk a little about this. I found here that there are two types of business owners or managers that you will deal with. The first type doesn't know or understand SEO, so you will need to convince them that it's actually something useful. But the second part is that they've actually worked with SEO agencies before, but they had really terrible experience out of it. Like they didn't really get good quality content. It was all, I believe, focused on the data that we were ranking for 5 keywords. Now we are ranking for 50 keywords, relevant, irrelevant. They didn't really care about it. And in the end, businesses didn't benefit out of these SEO practices. So in the end, they gave up and they don't want to invest in SEO. And my experience in that is with a friend, we started to work on one of these companies a few years ago. And the moment we fixed the content quality and just updated the website slightly, we started to rank in all of the products just under those Amazon-like e-commerce giants. It just needed to have a good plan and good content, and once we fixed it, the website just rocketed up. And the users, as I mentioned a bit before in the in the previous slides that they are really sensitive to content quality. That was my experience working in Turkey as well, that the good content works, bad content will make them suspicious about the quality or the safety of the website, that I can say. They are not really price focused, but they need to trust the website that they are shopping on. It can be a little more expensive than the competitors as long as they trust the service and then the return. And you need to build trust in Turkey to be able to sell the Turkish customers. But it is an easy thing to do as long as you show them that everything is done properly in your business. The one example of it I seen is Amazon. Amazon started to start the sell in Turkey a few years ago, and in the beginning they really didn't have anything. But now, whenever I read the reviews, everyone is focusing on Amazon prices and Amazon experience because they have the better experience now for all the customers in Turkey, even more than those old Turkish e-commerce websites. So after this, I just wanted to list a few points of best practices and how you can be a little more successful in Turkey if you are if you are doing SEO or marketing there. That a well-planned SEO strategy is a must, because it's a must in every market, but it will boost your performance much higher than other markets because your competition will not have a good strategy to compete with you the moment you started. The second is that it's also because I'm more focused on marketing than SEO, that you need to plan your marketing strategy to support your SEO strategy. So really good content, and you need to know your target audience, and you need to create all your website to fit the Turkish audience, which is not much different than anywhere else. It just needs to be easy to use, and it needs to show that your potential clients can trust you. For tracking your SEO efforts, all the international tools I've worked in Europe or American market works in Turkey really well. Unlike other markets, you don't really need anything special in Turkey. Google tools work really well, and all the tracking software are just working perfectly fine. And finally, you need to make sure you are presenting yourself like a proper Turkish company, that you need to use the hreflang tags on your website, which is quite simple in Turkish because the country code, country tag, and then the language tag are both TR, and the official Turkish domain is .com.tr, or you can just use other varieties depending on your needs and how international and how many languages and locations you have on your website. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope the information I tried to present here would be useful for your SEO journey.
Thank you very much, Gökhan. And if anyone would like to get in touch, Gökhan's not too far away, so feel free to reach out if you have any questions about Turkey.